Hey everyone, welcome back to the MLB Coast to Coast podcast. I am your host for this week, Nicole Russo, here with MLB expert from thelines.com, Mo Nawara, and we are going to be handicapping just a handful of games for you today. As always, if you need a FanDuel or a DraftKings account, make sure to head over to fdpicks.com or dkpicks.com to sign up for a new account. And of course, if you like written content, we have a ton of that over for you at thelines.com as well as playpicks.com. Before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, give us a thumbs up, and ring the bell so you know every time we post a new video. Mo, how you doing today?
I'll be doing better if the Angels can somehow not lose this baseball game. It's looking like a rough day, man. I beat like every line, and I'm just getting my ass kicked. So hoping the Angels can escape this multiple base runners jam with a bad pitcher on the mound. It's not looking good, but if they do, they'll be big favorites in fake baseball here in a few minutes.
Fake baseball. Let me tell you, I went to my first game at Wrigley last night. It is May. It should not be in the 50s. Okay. It was freezing. I was wearing a winter hat. I was wearing 2 jackets, and the Pirates look like a minor league team out there. So I basically focused on eating a hot dog and getting some Jenny's ice cream after the game. But very cool baseball stadium.
Shouts Jenny's ice cream.
Yes. If you go to Jenny's, you have to try gooey butter cake and brambleberry crisp. Unless you're a chocolate fan, then the chocolate peanut butter is also one of the top choices. What's your go-to? Do you have a go-to flavor?
I can't remember because it's been a while. We don't have them around here. So it's like I only get them when I'm out of town. So I can't say I have a go-to.
Okay. I'll just make sure you get my flavor next time. But all right, without further ado, let's get on to it. Let's talk about baseball. That is what we are here for. The first game we have on the docket is the Boston Red Sox versus the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners are in Boston later, and George Kirby is going to be the starting pitcher for the Mariners. Rich Hill is on the mound for the Red Sox. Red Sox are currently minus 130 on the money line at Caesar Sportsbook, with the Mariners sitting at plus 110, and the over-under for runs is currently sitting at 8.5. What do you like for this game?
So I haven't touted a total in a bit, but I kind of like under 8.5 here. It's George Kirby for the Mariners. He is a tremendous prospect, looking like he's really actually going to realize his talent level in the majors. I mean, he's barely even pitched in the high minors. 50 innings in Double-A is all he did. And it was just a cakewalk for him. And he came to the majors and 0.9 ERA so far. And yeah, you don't want to just look at somebody's ERA and think they're good. But when he's got a league average-ish, just a hair under actually, but really close to league average called strike plus whiffs, a 299 xWOBA. So he's not just getting lucky. Batters are hitting the ball pretty hard, 94 mile per hour exit velocity on average. That's the main concern, but he's getting enough weak contact to keep his xERA down. So like if StatCast doesn't think it's a major issue, I'm not going to think it's a major issue. And yeah, on the other side, you got Rich Hill for Boston, and I just keep thinking he's washed and done for. And then he just keeps putting up a 3.XX ERA. And this year it's even 2.89 so far. And some of his peripherals even back that up, which is kind of crazy. He kind of matches up well with Seattle. They do have some lefties, and they do have, they do hit the ball in the air a lot. So that's very good for Rich Hill because he's an extreme fly baller. And I think on kind of a colder day in Fenway, his talent level should play up a little bit. I don't think the ball is going to be flying out of the stadium like it has the last few weeks in some of the warmer spots. So with Seattle's top-notch pen, I think we're mainly fading a Matt Barnes blow up for Boston. So that guy's been like haunting me all year. So if Matt Barnes can manage to not find his way into the baseball game, I'm going to be feeling pretty good about under 8.5 here.
I like it. We're mixing it up a little bit. This is the first time we've taken an under. I think every other game's been a money line. So this is exciting to mix it up a little bit. Okay, next up we have the Astros versus the Rangers. So it was just announced recently that Astros star pitcher Jake Odorizzi will miss the whole 4-game series against the Rangers. He is now on a 15-day injured list. He had a leg injury. It looks like he's going to be getting an MRI, had to be taken out of that last game on a stretcher. So Framber Valdez is going to start for the Astros, and Glenn Otto is on the mound for the Rangers. Right now, the Astros are favored at this one at minus 200 with the over-under at 8.5 runs. How do you feel about this game?
So I'll say, speaking of, just to throw it back real quick about the totals, not my strongest plays generally, but everything's in reverse this year. I'm actually killing it on totals and not doing as well on money lines. Usually it's the total opposite. So I don't know what's going on this weirdo season, but this Astros Rangers game. Yeah. First of all, let's throw some love to Odorizzi. It looked pretty rough for him. So glad the guy avoided having his knee explode there. But this time it'll be Framber. Love Framber. He's a good lefty, gets absolutely infinite grounders. I think he's matching up pretty well against Texas, to be honest. I'd rather take lefties against Texas because Cole Calhoun and Brad Miller are a couple of just basically left-handed platoon bats that are hitting right-handers pretty hard every year, but they can't do much against same-handed pitching. So rather have a lefty against Texas. And on the other side, you got Glenn Otto. He's a guy who has kind of tantalized with his ability to miss bats, because that's the toughest thing to do. Get a major league hitter to swing and miss. And that's usually the hard part for most pitchers. Million minor league arms out there that can throw strikes, but they can't get the ball past major league hitters. Well, Glenn Otto can do it. But he's making the hard part look easy and the easy part look hard because he can't hit the zone at all so far. 45.5% zone rate. That's just not going to do it. Walking almost 5 batters per 9. And I don't think it's a great matchup for him because the Astros are one of the more disciplined teams. 7th lowest outside zone swing percent in MLB. So I do think it's like pretty justified for the Astros to be close to minus 200. I didn't have them quite that high, so I couldn't bet them. But I also thought the total was pretty fair. So not much interest in this one for me. And yeah, I'm just kind of waiting to see where the line moves, if it moves, and then if we can get a line on Cubs in Arizona, to be honest. I'm really surprised. It was a weird day. It took forever for the lines to get up, and then still even one of the PM lines isn't up. So I don't know what the market makers are doing today, but they're asleep at the wheel, I guess.
They are a little slow. We tried to push this recording as late as we could to wait for the lines to get up. Some of them still aren't up, so we're doing the best with what we have. So it is going to be a quick one for us today. That's pretty much going to wrap it up for today's MLB Coast to Coast pod. As always, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button, giving us a thumbs up, and ringing the bell so you know when our videos come out. And we will be back again later this week with more MLB picks. Thanks, Mo.